Today I'm making a shape collage. I can make lots of different shapes with just these squares. So I can turn the square sideways like this, and now it's a diamond. So that's an easy one. Just turn the square and turn it into a diamond. Now if I hold this diamond and cut it at one of the points, all the way up to the other point, now I have two triangles. So I just made some triangles out of a square. Now I can take this square, and if I cut all the sides off the square, turn it around and around like this while I cut, I made a circle. If I take this square and just cut two corners off of it, I've made a pentagon. That has 5 sides. And 2 triangles too. If I take this square and cut it right in half like this, I have 2 little rectangles. And if I cut all the corners off of this square, now I have an octagon that has 8 sides. I can make lots of shapes out of just squares. I can even make organic shapes. Those are shapes that don't have names. They're just kind of random. So you can cut anything you want to make an organic shape. So play around with these squares and see what kinds of shapes you can make for your collage. Oh, I can also cut the top off a triangle and make a trapezoid. So there's another shape. There's so many different kinds of shapes that you can make. Once I have enough shapes, I'm going to glue them down onto my paper. I'm making a collage. A collage is when you glue something onto a surface to make a picture. In this case, I'm gluing little pieces of paper onto a bigger piece of paper to make a picture. I'm doing an abstract collage, and that means that it doesn't look like anything. I'm not trying to make a picture of anything. I'm just gluing shapes wherever I think they look good. I'm even overlapping some of my shapes. That means I'm gluing shapes on top of other shapes. So you can overlap too if you want. Now that my paper is all filled up with shapes, I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. Now that my collage is dry, I'm going to add some details to it with this pastel. It's a white one, and I'm going to use this white pastel to only draw in the black space. So I'm not going to touch any shapes with this pastel. I'm going to draw around the shapes on the black paper. And I'm drawing different kinds of lines. I'm drawing curly lines and zigzag lines all around my shapes. Not on the shapes though. You can draw any kinds of lines you want all around your shapes. Our art is inspired by an artist named Reggie Laurent who makes abstract works of art using organic shapes and lines and patterns. Now that I'm done with my white pastel, now I can touch the shapes, and I'm going to draw patterns on them with different colored pastels. A pattern is any element of art that repeats. If you repeat lines or shapes or colors, those are patterns. You can see I'm doing repeating lines, repeating dots. I'm drawing lots of patterns on my shapes with the colored pastels. And now my shape collage is done.